Hello guys, this is the Matrix Man and I'm back with you with another punchline video. This one I want to talk about the three missing keys that are missing within our black culture and our community at large. And with these keys being missing, then we can see like the behavior, the pattern of things that is going a certain way within our community. And the first one that I want to talk about of the three missing keys is identity. At present, we can see how lost we are within our identity self. We see like the different groups, team light skin, team black, and team this and team that, and everyone is teaming up against each other and not knowing that we're on the same team, so it's just a questioning of like what happened to our mindset while we think that if one shade is much lighter than the other, then there are some perks to it. But like I said, it's a concern, and we have to start looking into it on a deeper level and see the meaning behind what's happening. We know that most of these behavior are coming back, pretty much 400 years and plus ago, where on the Willie Lynch letter, was orchestrated within that thing where they're gonna pit the light skin and the dark skin against each other, the strong men against the weak men and all of that. So we can see the fragmentation of that system still in our mind. It's still engraved within our mind, and we're still acting out that same part on a day-to-day basis within our community. So it's so surprising that we have that kind of racism within our own self and that kind of prejudice within our own self, but yet still when we go at large, we have a problem with other groups, So it's funny how we have two wars going on at the same time. One with our inside and one on the outside. So I think we need to deal with one on the inside before we can address the one on the outside, because we don't got time to play with the two fires because we're getting burned both sides, So let's focus on what's most important. And the important one is our self-identity. We need to get that right. We need to get it together, because this and team that is only making our community weaker. It's not giving it strength. It's not, it's not pushing us forward together as other people, and also as a race as well. So that's the first thing. Like I say, you can see the high proportion of people who's bleaching and who may be using the different Eurocentric hairstyle and all of that. All of that come under your identity crisis. Everybody's going through a meltdown, but it seems as if us black is catching more meltdown than anything else, So the next thing under three keys that is missing from our culture, the second one is self-knowledge. Without knowledge itself, then so the people perish. But without self-knowledge, it seems like we're on for perish as well, And we have to look into it, and we have to remember that we once was kings and queens. We look back over into Africa and even across the world, and we see certain things and we're in awe. Wow, that's beautiful. But we forgot that we once was great scientists and great doctors and great archaeologists and all of that which was happening. We was a part of that same dynasty. It's not like we were just like some spectators just looking at great things happening. No, we was into it. We was literally hands-on into those stuff which was happening, And that's what is lacking, like I say, is a self-knowledge. We cannot go way back and see like, hey, where was the time in our life when we was enslaved? Many of us only can stop from what, they tell us about our history, which is, we was in slavery in the Caribbean, in maybe South America, maybe here in Europe and everything like that, and also in the Arabs world. But what they're not telling us is who we are or who we was back then, But we cannot wait for them to tell us who we are, and that's what the problem is. We're waiting for someone to come and tell us like who you think you are and who you was. They won't tell you that. So you have to start to do your own research and bank up more into where knowledge is concerned, because with that knowledge, it only can set you free and set your family free and set your community at large free. But with no investment in knowledge, you look around in our black community, show me any library which you see open up and in the corner, but we can see maybe a basketball court, we might be able to see, a football pitch, but show me how many libraries is make available for the youngsters and even for the older people as well. There's not much investment in knowledge, but like I said, there's a lot of investment in sports. So you can see it is by design, So we have to start to reinvest back in our knowledge of self and also knowledge of who we are as a whole. not just as me, myself, and I. No, as me, yes, but as a whole, as a community. And the next one on the list as well is self-revelation. We have to start to see ourselves not just as what we have ourselves to be. Now we have to start to reveal unto ourselves like the greater attributes that make us human. We cannot just be here so we're hustling. It's bigger than that. We cannot just here like going to a 9 to 5. Just like we're bigger than that as well. There's a system that is running where it's on autopilot, but we have to find that system and maybe decode it and find like what's going on. But we cannot just sit there as if it's like we're just waiting for extinctionless like that, or just waiting to go into a chamber and just being gassed. We cannot act like that, because if you see how we're acting these days as black people on a whole, man, the acting and the behavior is not too good. You know what I mean? And it's not just locally, it's just like everywhere. We have to start to realize that we have to change up a lot of things so we can be not in alignment with certain things, certain other element, but we have to stay in alignment with our own self and for our own benefits. And that's where the lacking is concerned. We have to start to like have good assessment of self. We will have to start to see ourselves in the best way possible as well. We cannot see ourselves in other weak link and other people always like, apologies and the whole something and this and that. No, it's not like that. We have to sort of change that mindset and get into another mindset where we once was kings and queens. That's what we was. We have to start to reinvent our own self all over again. We see how our artists of the day now, how they can revamp their self and revamp their career when it go low sometime. We have to start revamp ourselves as much as they themselves doing the same thing. So we cannot just sit by the wayside and think like, hey man, shit is happening. No, we have to start to take responsible role into life itself. We have to take responsibility serious as well as a people. People to ask, can the black community ever come together anymore and unite? Maybe like, for example, can Africa on a whole unite? And the question, to be honest, is no, because Africa is still governed by European delegates as well. They might be in shadows, but they still have the influence, because remember, Africa was carved up and dispersed among European communities from way back in the 1800s, you know what I mean? So they still have that kind of involvement still in 2014 right now. The other day when Mali was going through its crisis, you say France went over there to protect interests, because they got an interest over there. So every part of Africa is owned by European power. Just like, it seems like America owns the Middle East all by itself, so it's the same powers be. But like I said, we cannot sit there. When you go into Africa, you see the investment, which is investing in Africa, is mainly Chinese who's investing billions of dollars in Africa. But yes, so we sit there, black people in the West or in America, in the Caribbean, and curse Africa and say, well, Africa is just a little dumb place. How can it be a dumb place when people are investing like more than what even the economic themselves worth for their own country? I mean, they invest in everything into Africa. But yes, so us blacks see Africa as nothing. Ain't that something? We see Africa as nothing, but they themselves see the potential that Africa still have till this day. Africa still is the lifeblood of many, many things, but we does not view that point. We do not share that same kind of point of view. We share it as if like Africa is just like, another place, but it's not that important within our psyche, and that's by design as well. So we have to sort of remove that kind of system that they have placed us into, to see ourselves so low, see our own continent so backwards, and see ourselves so messed up with each other, So all of that is by design, but we have to reshift our focus, because even in the Willie Lynch letter, they said that if the black man was to get himself with some knowledge of self, then he could automatically, because the brain have the potential to adjust itself and recorrect itself. So right about now, if you sort of get some information going, trust me, you sort of rethink, you sort of redo things differently, you sort of see yourself into an absolutely different way. And that is change. Change is possible, but you have to sort of activate change in every individual. It may not be going to be a big group thing, but everyone, you can start with everyone, then it can become like a snowball. It take an effect like that, you know. So that's just my three keys, which I see is missing within our black community, black culture at large. And like I said, it is, the first one is our identity crisis. The second one again is our lack of knowledge of self and lack of awareness of who we are as people. And the third one is self-revelation. We have to start to realize and reveal to ourselves who we truly are. Because no one ain't gonna tell us or me or you who you really are. You could wait until pension age come and meet you, but you will never know because they won't tell you that. So you have to start to invest back into your own educational system. Not necessarily from a school perspective, but from our own beneficiary pattern, because we can pattern our way like we was in school, and sometimes we was in high school and we didn't get much in terms of who we are neither. It just got high school system is like by design again, so it's not there for us to enlighten and teach us who we really are, because history is watered down in school and all of that is watered down in school, so we ain't gonna learn much. But we have to start to invest back in some books which is off the market, off the grid, and find out who we are. We have to start to revisit back libraries and see them information which are in them books. You know, we have to start do that. We have to start revisit the marketplace, maybe the car boot sale, and get them long time books which, you know, have some vital information where we can start to put pieces together, or revisit the art gallery and see certain sort of artifacts. We can start to revisit even the museum and see like certain kind of artifacts as well. You know, we can revisit certain monuments and see certain things. Because the more you start to expose your eyes and your heart and your mind to certain elemental thing which is missing, then you can literally start to put all the pieces together. And then we can, on the past, to realize who we still are and who we was back in the past as well. You know, because tell us that we were a slave and we're a slave, I mean, that's nothing, you know. We hear from time, you know, so it's not like we just show up last night on the scene and then people tell us who we are. We're supposed to be able to tell others who they are, not them tell us who we are. But we find ourselves in that predicament where we're relying on people to tell us who we are. We cannot afford to do that in 2014. We should find ourselves into a comfortable drive where we can start to align back ourselves with greatness. You know, we might not catch it down here in this world because right about now, Mother Earth is fucked up. So we might catch it on another plane, which is the spiritual level. So that's where maybe we're gonna have to fight that other war, you know. But at the minute, shit ain't looking too good. But hey, you have to start to have faith in self, man, you know. So this is my few words up on this one topic. Feel free to drop your information down in the description, whatever your views are on the three missing keys. And if you yourself maybe observe other missing keys as well, maybe you're going to talk about unity, and we talk about that here, but like I said, there's no point we unite when we cannot unite with our own self, you know. Unity start with self, you know, then you go out there and then you sort of do it on a grand scale, but it starts with self. So, but whatever you have, you can drop it into the comment area. You can thumb this video up, you can share it with other like-minded people, and also you can hit the subscription button. I would appreciate that as well. Thank you very much. And keep tuning to the Nubian Prince as well, my other channel over the other side. You can hit the like button next door as well. And you can go over there. That's where I do my more cool stuff, you know. But here, this is where I talk more practical. This is where I just like spit out my own heart, you know. So feel free to, you know, drive the traffic to this channel here and also to my other channel. And like I said, I would always update videos as soon as possible in every week, you know. So, you know, you come here, you don't see nothing, head over to the Nubian Prince, and that's where you find something. And if you go over there, you don't find nothing new, you head back over here to the Matrix Man. That's how we're going to keep it wrapping up, you know. So thank you very much, guys, to hang out one more time with the Matrix Man. And thank you very much to, like I said, follow me through to the end of this video. And thank you very much to share it, and also thumb it up, and also to like it, and also to favorite it as well. And thank you very much, guys. Have a blessed and peaceful day.